Hello, welcome back. It's been a while, hasn't it? Welcome to Team News Reaction.
Been a minute.
Ste and Errol here. The Reds are actually back in a proper game of footy, not just a fake game of footy that I've been commentating on over the last couple of friendlies.
And did you do the pens as well?
Yeah, I don't know. I went watch alongs. I went solo for those ones.
I joined you. I did remotely.
I appreciate it. It was nice to have Errol back in the studio at Liverpool, Manchester City kicking off in an hour and 13 minutes. Hello, everyone in the chat as well. Lovely to have you all back with us. Yeah, let's look who's in there now. Kieran, Steve, Adam, all the usuals. Glad to have you all back. And of course, the Club Legend Discord chat as well. Shout out to all you guys. Yeah, Errol, it's been a minute. Has it been?
It's been good. Do you know what? I didn't think I'd get caught up in the World Cup whirlwind of it all. But, we sat in our conversation. You was like, I haven't picked a team. And I was like, I've picked Argentina. Before a ball was even kicked, I was like, I've picked Argentina. I just want Messi to go out on a high. And then after they lost to Saudi Arabia, I was like, bit of a damn squid. I think they could go out in the groups. And then I couldn't see past France. And I thought, the only chance England have got is if they beat France, they've got a chance to win it. But then in the back of my mind, when it comes to France, Argentina final, I did just want them to do it for Messi. And to be fair, the final didn't fail to deliver. It was absolutely, it was boss, mate. It was a belter game of footy. I
enjoyed having footy but it was like, you just drop into it. If it was on, I never once planned to sit down and watch a game.
But it was there.
If I wandered in and it was on and I watched it, even the final was mad. It was on my birthday. The World Cup final was my birthday, and it was like I've never ever. That was just a surreal experience. You know, like obviously December 18th. I was thinking I'm never gonna. That just never something that's constant. Like sometimes Liverpool play on my birthday.
Happy days.
Yeah. I remember they were in that Club World Cup once, I think, on my birthday.
Yeah.
Never even having it, but yeah, I must admit I was dipped in after, but I'm so glad that to have the Reds back. Michael McGuinness, one of our members, shout out to Michael, says, "And work again. The last one before Christmas. I'm missing the game." Michael, get your headphones in, pal.
You know the drill.
Along. We've got you covered every step of the way. If you can't watch it, like I say, Ella and I will be doing the watch along. Our team news, official team news, is about 11 minutes away. We think we've got a rough idea of who and who aren't
that's
playing.
A mixed bag, that, isn't it?
I think Roberto Firmino picked up a calf.
Yeah,
kicked to the calf. Hasn't he? James Pearce reports he's going to be out. We think, and we can't confirm, we'll let you know in about 10 minutes. Kelleher, Robbo, Gomez, Matip, Milner. There was some talk about Matip missing out earlier today. Apparently that's not true. Bajcetic, Thiago, Elliott, Carvalho, Nunez and Mo Salah. That is what we're hearing the Liverpool team is, but obviously it won't be confirmed until, well, whatever really. The League Cup, they can just drop it whenever they want. Me and Ed are going to do a little bit of chatting, so yeah, let me know your thoughts if that is the team, guys, in the comments section below. Before we get to the team, then we might as well take this little opportunity to talk about Last Fan Standing. Paul was back on Last Fan Standing. He's been away for a couple of weeks, but yeah, that show is out now, the newest one. So if you, after we go on the team news show and you're waiting for the watch along, if you're looking for something else to watch, just to fill a little void in between us and us again, yeah, check out the Last Fan Standing show. If you want to know what it's all about, here is a little clip from this week's episode.
Arsenal, weirdly, haven't had an awful World Cup. They played nearly half as many as few minutes as the City players.
Probably picked up the worst injury out of everyone.
What, Gabriel Jesus? Yeah. What do you think
in terms of the importance of the team and what he means to them? Because whilst I think, yes, he didn't score all their goals, he still had a healthy amount of goals. He didn't score all their goals. He was a lot more to the team than just his goals. And Eddie Nketiah coming in, whilst he has scored goals here and there when he's started, to be relied upon every week is going to be difficult. I think they've got some tricky games coming up as well. And the length of that injury, it's like, is it 3 months possibly?
Yeah, end of Feb, it's been reported at the moment.
So whilst most of their players probably didn't pick up fatigue and stuff, and Saka's come back confident and all those kind of things, they've picked up the worst injury probably out of the teams at the top 6.
There you go, Paul, Flav, and of course Adam. If you want to go and check that, like I say, when we finish here on the Team News Reaction Show, go over and check Last Fan Stand and tell them we sent you as well. It does help us out, give it a thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. Do go and check out, like I say, some good debates there. Do you think the guys brought up, let's just talk about it dead quick, the World Cup, touch wood, Liverpool seemingly come through it unscathed in terms, like Arsenal, for example, the lads were talking about there, lost Gabi Jesus. There was a couple of other issues, like for example Manuel Neuer, although it wasn't in the World Cup, broke his leg after the World Cup. a couple of players have been
casualties.
Yeah,
of,
a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, France had a couple. Benzema doing his knee. Nkoku done his before the season, before the tournament. Rather, it looks like Liverpool touch wood. I think it got through it, but yeah, that is about as good as you can ask for. Really, I thought. Because again, I didn't give a toss who won it. Having everyone out, I was at the back for the Villa game in time, but no one's really had a stinker of a tournament. They either didn't play or they did all right. It went about as well as from a Liverpool point of view as it could have went, really.
Yeah, and you know what? We'll take it this moment in time. Would I have liked one of the Liverpool players to have been front and centre of, you know, getting all the accolades right now? Yeah, it would have been nice, but in the grand scheme of
things...
with
Alisson being it, because I had Brazil in about 5 different sweeps.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. I think he was all done to that deflection for the goal. Done him dirty there. But yeah, as I say, I'll take it. I think, you know, the likes of Fab getting kept refreshed in a Brazil squad, but not kind of front and centre and having to wear his heart on his sleeve to the heartbreak of Brazil going out wouldn't have been a bad thing for him. Again, same for Trent and Henderson. I know Henderson started to play a little bit more of a significant role,
but he played well.
And that's what I was going to say. The role he did play, he ended up playing quite well when he obviously got his opportunities. Trent, as we expected, Southgate fucking shit the bed and didn't utilise him. But again, probably good for his confidence and his morale to be like, well, I was good enough to be with the England squad, so, you know, I'm not going to let my head drop in that sense. So I'm kind of happy. As you say, you can't really ask for much more yet. Would it have been nice for one of the lads to come home with the fucking winners medal around the neck feeling like fucking Don Juan? Absolutely. But now they've got to come back, work with their colleagues again to get themselves as a team back to where they want to be, because I think a lot of them will have realised that yeah, the World Cup was great, and again for Virg, it was nice for him to obviously be able to represent Holland at a international competition. But they'll probably realise, you know what, the World Cup was just a step too much at this point in the season. We did well to not get injured before the World Cup. We done well to not get injured in the World Cup. Now let's fucking put every last bit of energy and absolutely run through brick walls to make sure that Liverpool's season can be as successful as possible. Because I was of the opinion that players had, I wouldn't even frame it as down tools, but he was definitely reserving themselves, and he was conscious that a major tournament was coming up. So it's nice that now that's out the way, there should be no excuses for not putting your body on the line when it's needed.
Absolutely. Like I say, the only one really, I suppose, someone mentioned in the chat, like Darwin, but like, I don't think
you had to stick it, didn't you? Well, I think Uruguay just...
I don't think Uruguay's issues with Darwin led. If anything, Suarez just had gone.
Joe, I didn't know it was Uruguayan. That Valverde,
yeah, he's good, isn't he?
Yeah, but I didn't think he shone. I didn't really think he
shone. Uruguay had a stinker, but I think it was Nunez led.
No, I don't either, but
he's the only one really I could say maybe in hindsight, if anything, it should have went the other way.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to be the focal point of that team, because they tried a bit of Suarez and they tried a bit of Cavani, and they had no legs.
He wanted the old guard, didn't he?
Yeah, Suarez wanted one more run at it, and they had no legs in it. That was the only.
But that's not a bad thing. Again, it's a hopefully, touch wood, in my lifetime, that's our last Winter World Cup.
I wouldn't bank on it. Saudi Arabia 2032 or something. Yeah,
doing the rounds.
I wouldn't bank on that one. Got a super chat here from Michael McGuinness. I'm going to on also, lads, when's the next Redmen party? Yeah, Michael was at the...
he was. Good lad.
We'll definitely do an end of season one, we always do. We're in talks about other couple potential ones. We're also looking potentially, and don't hold me to this, of not just doing them in Liverpool, getting around different parts of even the country, even the world, perhaps.
Ireland,
so,
let's go to Ireland.
Yeah,
they have a drink.
That is, I've had tentative conversations about something in Dublin. I put like no guarantees of anything. But we're looking. But like, we'll definitely do the end of season party, Mike, for sure, and that will almost certainly be in Liverpool. But the rest of it, we are looking to do more live stuff now. We're able to. Now the world's opened up again a little bit.
And we've got the world in the office now. Well, not even the office, in the studio. Have people seen that?
Yeah. The subscriber map. So we on the live 9 PM shows. Yeah, we have been pinning our subscribers up on the board. Yeah, I spoke to Paul the other day.
Do you just like guess randomly where they are, or like how accurate are the pins at this moment in time?
Yeah, it's hit and miss. It's hit and miss. The producer.
Who's got the worst geography?
Paul by a mile. Chloe was bad.
Yeah,
but Chloe cheated.
Okay.
Googled them all beforehand. Paul thought I was cheating because I knew where India was. You're like, there's no way you just know where India was. I'm like, no, I do just know where India is. And, and I knew where Australia was, and I just knew. his geography knowledge was the worst by a mile.
I'm looking for India now, and I feel really bad.
You might not be able to see because there's a couple of cameras and lights in your way. It's basically up from Australia.
Oh, yeah. Directly up, isn't it?
But yeah, either way, yeah, Paul's by far is the worst. Yeah,
I reckon Pajak's got good geography.
Yeah, me and him were the best.
Yeah. I could see that. I can see Pajak.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, he was good. Yeah, but yeah, Paul's horrendous, absolutely awful. Right then, we are moments away, I think, from Liverpool's team being announced. If it is what it is, I mean, it's going to be the first time Mo Salah's played in a League Cup, bar the final, for a long old time. But I was saying this the other day. It's obviously a relatively, it's a big game. Don't get me wrong, it's Man City away, but like Liverpool do play Aston Villa away on Boxing Day. They need 3 points in that game for sure. And like this is almost like a really good start, because usually whoever we was playing in the League Cup, if it was this day, you know, if it was December 22nd, any other season,
bank on it anyway.
Well, no Salah. 100% no Salah. You'd be surprised that Thiago was on the pitch. There's loads, but because they haven't played the game, this is like almost like a really good tune-up for them. Like I say, in a way that might benefit us, because Liverpool are going to have some big guns out.
I'm half glad they're playing, because the Northwest today isn't as cold as it was last week, so I'm half glad they're playing tonight and it's not -4, -5, and they're playing in a...
it's been horrendous.
It has been really cold the last week, so it seems to have warmed up a little bit. But, I take the point in what you're saying there, because from our perspective, we never typically come back from a long break in fine form. We're a bit of a slow starter, we're kind of late to the party in terms of form, and it's like a big break, or we've ever had a little bit of an international and you get 2 weeks off. So I am a little bit sensitive about the amount of time that's been spent away from actual training, not even necessarily the training, just playing matches, because let's not forget, like, usually we'd be ramping up the amount of footy we'd be playing. Normally towards this back at the end of this point in the season, you'd be playing the Champions League, trying to qualify for that. You'd be playing another League Cup game. It's probably been squeezed in, and this might be leading up to another round. Then you'd be playing Premier League games dotted here, there and everywhere. So we've not been playing competitive footy for over a month now. And as I say, because we're in a position that we've left ourselves in of not having the luxury of being able to drop a point here or there, every game since this restart now seems like it's got to be a must-win. I would rather us, again, if we could afford to lose any game to City this season, the League Cup at this point in time is the one that I can say, do you know what, I can live with it. But me and you are on the watch along, so I feel confident that we're going to perform.
This time, exactly this date last year, it was that Leicester game. Remember the 3-all with Minamino, and I lost my shit a little bit. I went off with him. But again, that was the fifth round, wasn't it? Yeah. Essentially, that's a quarter final. You are right. There's usually been another game
in between.
So you are right. The games do come, and you got to remember the team Jürgen picked in that game. He had the likes of, he had like Billy Cometio playing.
It was like 6 youngsters with 5 more senior players, but it wasn't the right balance. No. He probably went a little bit too heavy on the youngsters, and then we had to kind of wrangle the game back into our favour, which we did, and we went on to win the tie. But yeah, I think this again, if the team is out now, is that it 100% saying
I'll make my way over.
Go on, and I'll read it. It is Kelleher in goal, because he's the only face I can't see on the ball. But is it Kelleher? Yeah. So we have got Kelleher in goal. James Milner will be playing right back. We have got Joel Matip and Joe Gomez, both in centre-back positions, with Andrew Robertson there on the left-back. Besetic is playing, again, looks like the base of the midfield, with Elliott and Thiago. Left forward is going to be Carvalho, with Nunez and Salah to start.
So the 11's right here. I've got to get my board right. So it's Adrian. We've got Fabinho's on the bench. Nice to see Fab back. We've got Naby. Sorted with Naby. Stay there, Nabs. Who else have we got? Nice to see Jordan Henderson on the bench as well. So some three good midfielders there. It's been a while since we saw them. Next is Oxlade-Chamberlain. I've got him. Got Costas. Got Phillips. And then it's Ben Doak, which is an interesting one. Young Ben Doak is on as well. So sorry, Bobby Clark. And sorry, Freuendorf, but you guys ain't making it. But Calvin Ramsey is. So let me get Calvin Ramsey back in the team. There we go. So yeah. Right then, to run through it in full, like again. Got Kelleher, Robbo, Gomez, Matip, Milner. Thankfully, that Matip scare was just as scary as playing. Got Besetic, Thiago, Elliott, Carvalho off the left. I'm almost certain of that one. Got Darwin Núñez up front, and then Mo Salah on the right-hand side. Bench of Adrian, Fabinho, Keita, Henderson, Chamberlain, Tsimikas, Phillips, Doak, and Ramsey. So yeah, in terms of senior players on the bench, there are some of them, like all these lads basically. I suppose you can go on that Phillips there as well. I'd love to see Ben Doak get some minutes. I'd be shocked if he didn't, to be honest. I wonder if maybe it's instead of Carvalho he comes on at some point, because Ben Doak's been really, really excited. I'd like to see him at some point. I know Liverpool have had a bit of illness in the camp as well, which might explain some of the absences and, of course, injuries as well. But yeah, Errol, it's a big game for Stefan Bajcetic, isn't it? Let's talk about him first. I'll come back over and join you in a second. But yeah, base of the midfield, young lad, Manchester City away. That's a big call from Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, he's put a lot of faith into the young lad. And you know what? Fair play, because in the glimpses that we've seen of him so far this season, mate, he's looked capable. He hasn't looked phased, or he hasn't looked like a deer in headlights when he's been put into what we consider to be big games for someone of with that level of inexperience, so to speak. So I'm happy that he's getting the opportunity. I think the League Cup predominantly is there as a it's the training wheels. It's there for those young lads to make mistakes. And all right, yet the opposition this time round is heavy hitters, and you can't look past the Man City team that's star-studded, and it's got £100 million worth of a striker that hasn't been to a World Cup and is fresh, probably ready. But there's a job in there for you today to kind of it's not your job to mark him out of the game, but you're going to have to watch the De Bruynes and the Fodens that are going to play in those half spaces and going to try and use their nous and their experience to get the better of it, essentially. And I think the one criticism I'd probably say from, again, it's so hard because I haven't watched us play for again 4 or 5 weeks, but the criticism that I don't think can escape us until I know we've rectified it is the legs. We've looked short of legs in that midfield, so to have a little bit of energy and a little bit of youth there, I know Harvey Elliott will do that, and I started to see glimpses of him really putting in a shift as well, and the defensive work was starting to be something that he was actually trying to improve on. Again, it's not just going to happen overnight. It's going to take months before it gets to a really strong level, but again, he's willing to do that. I think that's why James Milner's been dropped in at right back, because that's what he's happy to cover. He's happy to be a little bit more conservative, which means there's less running and kind of dropping back in that Elliott has to do. So I think Bajcetic then is able to kind of just be a nuisance. You know your job, you know how to keep it simple when you've got the ball and move the ball forward, but when they've got the ball in those dangerous areas, you need to be a nuisance and you need to be on their toes. Don't give them a second to get their head up, and that should hopefully be the task that Jurgen kind of gives him today.
Got the Man City team, and again, to Liverpool's really, it's a bit of a mixed bag. So they've got Moreno in goal, or take a Moreno, I suppose. Lewis, Akanji, Laporte and Ake at the back. I think Nathan Ake is going to be playing full back there. They've got a very strong midfield. They've gone for Rodri, De Bruyne and Gundogan in midfield. Mahrez, Haaland and Cole Palmer up front. They've got a couple of their England lads back on the bench as well. So Carson, they've got Walker, Stones, Grealish and Foden are all on the bench, as are Cancelo, Gomez, Bernardo Silva and Robertson as well. So yeah, Stefan Bajcetic is, young Spanish DM. Directly opposite him is Spain's DM. He played centre half for them, Roger. Yeah. But I think Sergio Busquets, I think that's him done with Spain now. I think he's going. So he's playing against the lad who's his national team's opposite number. He's got De Bruyne, he's got Gundogan. Pep kind of hinted that his team was going to be a little bit the same. Bit of youth, especially at the back, but that is a very strong Man City midfield. If Elliott and Bajcetic and Thiago up against Rodri, De Bruyne and Gundogan. If you're Manchester City, you're thinking that could be an area we dominate. Our lads are really going to have to be on it, all three of them.
Absolutely, but I think that's the key. I think Bajcetic's job, keep it simple. You know what I mean? Keep it simple and move the ball to the lads that's going to do the running. Harvey's always going to be running forward. He's going to try and get into those areas, and Thiago's always going to look for that pass that can just cut open a team. So you've got safety in that. Get the ball away from that defensive area as quickly as possible, and your job should be made a little bit easier. Don't get me wrong, when you read that team out, then I thought, Man City are going to overrun us. I don't even say they're going to overrun us in midfield. They're just going to probably dominate the ball. We expect them to dominate possession, but midfield will probably be that one killer area. I think they've done that because they want their defence to have as much touches of the ball, or as least touches of the ball as possible. They don't want that inexperienced defence that have just kind of through together. Like, you can actually say that defence has played with each other before. Our defensive line, even with Kelleher in goal, you can rely on him in goal. Robertson, Gomez, Matip, even Milner being there and called upon, they've played with each other. So you wouldn't mind if they had the ball and they was moving the ball about, or if Matip was choosing to come out of defence and running into midfield. You'd be comfortable with that. Whereas I don't think Guardiola will have the same level of comfort with his defence. So he wants his midfield to soak up the ball and have as much time on the ball as possible, so that they can, give the likes of Haaland and Mahrez a chance. Because, as he said, the one thing a lot of people have noticed about Haaland is he's going to be in the right places, he's going to make all the right runs, but that's his game.
Someone's got to find him.
Yeah, you've got to find him. He's not going to be making himself busy. He's not going to be dropping into midfield to knit things together. He's not that link-up man. He's the target man for yous. So the midfield job is to provide that to him. We've got to nullify that as best we can.
I suppose as well, if you're looking at, and Hitchin Baz says they're a bit weak at the back, maybe a chance on the break for our front three. And I remember
if we're clinical, yeah.
I remember the Community Shield game. Salah giving Nathan Ake a torrid time. Yeah, and even in,
I'm on the ropes. It was a ropey performance from him at best.
Yeah. He didn't obviously scored the own goal in all the times, but like Salah had the freedom of that right hand side, and Liverpool were onto it very, very early, and they exploited. And ultimately, that's how they went and won the game. Most of the goals came as well from over there. From wide positions rather. They've got a young lad, I think it's Rico Lewis, who's playing at the other side, up against Carvalho. You are right, that is probably, if Liverpool are looking at it, like thinking, well, yeah, they've got a better midfield out than us, to say it. And in terms of attack, I think both sides they've got their main man, we've got Salah, they've got Haaland, we've got NUNEZ, they've got Mahrez, and then there's youngsters in Palmer and Carvalho. I know Cole Palmer's very highly thought of, but yeah, there's a bit. I'd say we've got the better back four, they've got the better midfield, and up front's kind of a wash. I think that's about right.
And we've probably got the better keeper.
Probably of the two sub goalies. Yeah, you're probably right. So it's not like it's probably even Stevens. The thing is, like I say, if you're looking at glass half empty.
But I always say to you, if you win the midfield battle,
you've got half a chance.
You've got half a chance.
Liverpool are gonna. I just think they're gonna hit Mo Salah early and often.
Yeah.
I think Mo Salah fancies Ake having them all game. It's how long he gets at him, we'll find out. We'll see. I don't know enough about Rico Lewis to know how Carvalho is going to get on against him on the other side, which I presume he's going to be.
And let's not get it twisted. I thought the Ox wasn't going to be in the match day squad today, but if one thing that you can see from that bench, from particularly, is if it's not going the way we want and Jürgen wants to get something out of this game, he can change that midfield quite drastically to get a lot more control.
If he really wanted to.
Or see out the game, do you know what I mean?
Especially with 5 subs, he's got Fab, Keita, Hendo.
Yeah.
I mean, if he really wanted to, at 60...
And the Ox will probably be used as a forward option.
He could change his whole midfield at some point with the sub options. He's got, like, again, I know Man City, you've got a good bench. Well, the good thing is, in this competition, there's no extra time, so you don't have to worry about that if it gets that far in it. But I'm excited. From a Liverpool point of view, I'm excited if Liverpool can try and get Mo Salah over on Nathan Ake. There's a lot of people in the chat who aren't confident. Boo. The Reds have only just come back. Behave. And our record actually against Manchester City recently has been pretty good. We beat them a couple of times, obviously, in the league. We won the
free for three, aren't we? FA Cup, Community Shield, then the league.
Yeah.
We're free for free, baby.
In 3 different comps. Let's make it 4 out of 4.
In the last 8 months, come on.
Yeah, let's have a little go. Yeah, Thiago is the one, I think, who Liverpool needs to...
Do you know what? I can't wait for that song later. I haven't had the song on the mix for a while.
Thiago song?
Yeah.
I think Thiago, if Thiago has a good game, Liverpool will half a chance, like I say. And they need more.
Because they're relying on all 3 of their midfielders to really dominate proceedings, but we just need one guy to just cut you open.
To be honest, I thought Elliott was good.
Yeah,
against City last time as well. So I think he's had a good time. Like I say, it's Bajcetic doing. What I would say is that I think it would have been harder for Bajcetic if it was Bernardo Silva was in there. Like I think
he's so elusive.
Yeah,
he's made all of our midfielders look stupid at some point in time.
But listen, don't get me wrong, De Bruyne is the one of class, but I think that they're more. De Bruyne goes everywhere. He won't be in midfield. He'll be everywhere about, and someone's going to go.
He'll be doing the other half of Haaland's job for Haaland, and then his own. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. It's to be expected.
Right then, we'll leave it there. We'll see how it goes. Like I say, interesting selections from both Liverpool and from Manchester City. A couple of youngsters, some of the big guns. 2 of the best players in the world are playing in a League Cup game in December, which is always fun. So if you want to if you want to join for the watch long, we'll be going live at 7:45 UK time, which is just over half an hour. We're 34 minutes away. So get it on your TV, press mute, sync up with us, and we'll provide 100% biased commentary. We've got songs, we've got the live chat, we've got the Discord where you guys can get involved as well. So do come back and join us. And like I say, if you're looking for something to watch now before we go live, do go and check out Last Fan Standing. The link is in the description below. And we'll catch you all in about half an hour. See you in a bit, everyone.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching the show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a like on the way out. Did you know you could get some hoodies, t-shirts and any accessories from redmenmerch.com? So head on over there now and grab yourself something.